What is up, everybody? I know it's been a long time. I even forgot my usual intro, so I'll go ahead and do it now. Minasan, konnichiwa. Okay, so as you can clearly tell from the shirt and the title, this is my quick review of the Power Rangers Once and Always special. Um, I saw it earlier today, uh, and so I'm recording this much later because I saw it before I went to work, and then I went to work, and the day just kind of got away from me, so I didn't get to record until now. And it's probably a good thing I didn't record until now because let me go ahead and say, as a lifelong Power Rangers fan, that was absolutely amazing. It, oh man, so many emotions. I don't even know where to start really with everything. Um, if you guys are seeing this, that means that I'm looking for it. That you probably hopefully have seen it too. I uh, you know what, I'll do two things. I'll do a spoiler and I will do a spoiler free, and then I'll do a spoiler towards the end. So spoiler free is right here. Here we go. Um, what a special. What a special. It really did feel like a continuation of the series. It felt like another episode of Power Rangers, and I mean that in the best way. It had that old school classic feel. A lot of the music felt the same. The sets looked the same. Um, excuse me. Had some great callbacks. Had some great just moments that were just everything that a Power Rangers fan, especially a fan of the old school 1993 series, Mighty Morphin series, season one, season two, would want. Uh, of course, everyone who was, pretty much advertised was there. They alluded to the other characters, and it even showed older clips of the other actors. But they weren't, in the special as expected because, for whatever reason, and I'm not here to debate or ask that. I don't, because, you know, they have all been as characters and as actors has meant so much to me. I've got no complaints about that at all. But the callbacks are great. The story I thoroughly enjoyed. It took a couple turns that I wasn't expecting. I'll speak on that in the spoiler side. Um, my thing that I think made this so memorable was the character moments. The action was good. The costumes, the Zords, and everything. I loved how it looked. It really it I mean, it just felt like old school Power Rangers, just with some updated effects, and that's coming from a lifelong fan. That's what I watched it for, and I'm not complaining. I loved it. Um, the callbacks of the story, I love what there were so many callbacks, and I don't know if I can even get to them all, but it was it was it was such a great tribute to the series as a whole. It had a lot of allusions to a lot of some of the newer series as well. Not all of them, I don't think, but it definitely had some allusions that you not blink if you'll miss it, but if you paid attention, you'll see what I mean. When you watch it, you can tell. So, what else do I want to say about it? It'll hit you in the feels. That's the main thing. If you are a diehard fan, especially of Mighty Morphin, by the time it's over, you will either be super emotional or you'll cry. I cried. But by the time it was over, I was in tears, and it was because I feel like the people who are no longer with us, in particular, Twee Trang and Jason David Frank, would have loved it, and I think we would have been fantastic in it. And it's just sad that they're no longer with us, but I feel like this special really did a great job of carrying that spirit of what they gave us in 1993 onto the 2023. Um, Let me see if I want to talk about anything else before I get to the spoiler portion. What else? What else? What else? Um, I guess that's it for the non spoilers. Uh, so I'll go ahead and move to the spoiler side of things. If you do not want to hear spoilers, if you don't want to hear spoilers, go ahead and stop the video now. watch the special, then come back. I am saying it right now. We are going to get into spoilers now. Okay? All right. If you're still watching, that means that you understand that we're talking about spoilers and you're cool with it. All right. Let's talk the story itself. The story itself, of course, was everyone saw the trailer. Rita comes back and in a robotic form. Reminded me of the Machine Empire from Zeo, it's the equivalent in the Japanese Sentai series. But and I like and that's not a complaint. That's that I feel like that aesthetic was pretty cool. In the special itself, the Rangers are still active in their own ways. And I'm sure everyone's like, well, how is Aisha there? Why are her and Adam part of Space Patrol Alpha? What's all the other powers and all this other stuff? And you know what? I'm a Doctor Who fan. So here's how I'll explain all the timeline stuff. Weeble wobby timey wimey, okay? That's the worst part of being a Doctor Who fan. You can explain away any continuity error, just weeble wobby timey wimey. And I felt like this had that, like just timelines, Thanos snap, Pym particles, whatever. So but you know what? But honestly, you know what? It didn't bug me. The inconsistencies didn't bug me. It wasn't a bother for me. Um, the story I thought was pretty dark in a way for Power Rangers. Not just for Mighty Morphin, but the series as a whole. The last time something was this dark in the regular series, I think was probably what was it, RPM, when they had the alternate timeline where Avengix took over and like all of humanity was near extinction, and I remember thinking like, that's a dark series, man. What the heck's going on? It's like how did we get here? I was like, how did we get here? What is happening? In terms of stories of Power Rangers in the past few years, when you take in the comics and the 2017 movie, which is still great in my opinion, it fit that dark tone that we were getting, but it wasn't like the whole thing is just dark and but no, it had dark moments. After Trini's passing, Rita goes into hibernation or not in hiding for a year, and everyone's just trying to deal with her path, including her daughter, who Zach takes on helping raise. The moments with Zach and Min, who is Trini's daughter, and actually, by the way, actress who played her, fantastic, fantastic. I could easily have seen her like in the original series. She fits that vibe, and she did such a great job. Um, their moments were so good, but the realest moment I feel is when you find out how exactly Rita came back, and then Min's conversation or anger at Billy. So again, this is spoilers. Billy was trying to bring back Zordon, but accidentally brought back Rita because her, as explained, was when Zordon's wave eliminated the evil villains. The essence of Rita that was evil got spread out too. So when Billy was trying to bring Zordon back, he accidentally brought Rita back, and she infected an Alpha 8 robot he had in the in his lab, and came back to as her robot self, which I thought was clever. I thought that was a very clever way of doing things. I vastly approve, and it's also because another reason I love that so much is because if you watch comparing Power Rangers to the original Sentai is vastly unfair. They are no longer the same series, and I mean that in the good way. The Sentais exist in their own contained universe, and they're fantastic. And Power Rangers exist in its own contained universe, it's fantastic. And everybody wins. The fans win of both sides because you can go find the original Sentai show and watch it, and you can watch Power Rangers. Everyone wins. It's a win-win for all, and you can still get great stories out of both. Great stories out of both, and I loved this story. But Min's conversation with Billy, I feel like was the emotional core of this whole. I feel like Trini was the emotional core of this whole film, and as she should be. When Twee Trang passed away in real life, that was such a devastating blow to so many fans, and one, I can't even fathom how her family felt. I'm not even gonna pretend like I can understand how that felt for them, because God bless them. I'm sure that's still a tough thing for them to go through to this day. But for the fans, that was like the first Ranger we ever lost. And now, and God bless, and God bless and rest in peace to the other numerous actors and crew and everything who have passed away since then. May they, like I said, may they rest in peace. But Tree Trang was like the first one to pass, and that affected all of us on a very deep and emotional level. Because, like I was explaining to somebody else, Power Rangers, they were our first, for a lot of us, our first superheroes. But they were our first superheroes that, hey, we could like high five them. When you're a kid, and because I was like 4 when Power Rangers came out, and when you're a kid, like, hey, like they're like on screen, but they're real people. They have these great costumes and they fight evil, man. I would love to do that. And that's just was, just Phil. I think that's part of the reason that's why I'm a writer now is because of Power Rangers. I fully believe that. Power Rangers, Transformers, Sailor Moon, those kinds of shows when I grew up, I feel like those stoked my imagination so much. I wanted to tell stories that were that cool, and that's why I feel like I'm a writer now. I really do. But okay, going on with the story. Uh, Rita brings back 2 monsters, and she's capturing Rangers, and it's not. And this is the cool part. It wasn't clear what she was capturing them for, but she was capturing them and taking their power, and it wasn't clear until almost to the end that she's trying to rewrite history essentially. And she's trying to go back to the day of the dumpster, which I love how that's still called the space dumpster, because that's almost such a disrespectful name. It's like, yeah, it's just a space dumpster. Uh, I just love that name. Um, and it's clear that she has a plan to do that, and it's honestly one of the best Rita plans of all time, to the point where I'm like, why didn't she ever think about this before? I was like, why did she have to die, wait 30 years, and then come up with this idea? So I'm just like, wow. Um, it was great seeing David Yost, Walter E. Jones, Catherine Sutherland, Steve Cardenas back in these roles. Not to mention Karen Ashley, Johnny Young Bosch. It was so great to see them all again on my screen in a Power Rangers format, because I feel like they are, like, again, just people who shaped my childhood and just made me believe a lot of things were possible, no matter what. And part of that still carries on to me as an adult. Like, if it wasn't for the fires that they stoked back then, who knows where I'd be right now. But the special has a very, very cool moment of men trying to use Trini's morpher to become the saber-toothed tiger ranger, and she can't do it. And the reason is that she's still just trying to get revenge and not fight for justice, which I loved that. I loved that she couldn't morph because she was doing it for the wrong reasons. It wasn't until she was ready to sacrifice herself to save Billy. Keep in mind, the same person she blamed for her mother's death, that finally the morpher was working for her, and that she was able to morph and join the others to bring back. Oh man, to see the original 5 Ranger costumes on screen was so cool. I feel like I have to stress this. Walter E. Jones does not age. Now, I will say, David Yost, Kevin Sutherland, Steve Cardenas, Karen Ashley, Johnny Young Bosch look a little bit older than they did in the original series, and I can't stress the words "a little bit" enough. Like, I would say they all look maybe 10 years older than they did in the original series. Keep in mind that they were in the original series 30 years ago. Because and I've said it before, Karen Ashley, my God. Anyway, uh, they, but Walter E. Jones just, like, it's like, dude, I would love it if one day he would show that he ages a bit. All he had now, all the difference between him now and then is he has a mustache and a goatee. Exact same face. It's been all these years. That man has changed in facial hair alone. That is it. But let me see. What, because okay, so after a man is able to morph, they join together. They form the Megazord. They're able to destroy Roborita, disconnect the time machine, remove the other Rangers from it, save the day. To like Zach said, we saved the world before. I'm like, and I love how he said we've saved the world before. I'm like, yeah, like 85 times before. You that implies once. Anyway, um but then the special ends at the when they were at the juice bar. Oh my god, so many memories of that set for me of that scene of so many things happening in that juice bar. Um, there's a really cool scene after they destroy Rita of like everyone meeting back at the command center with Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this. Billy's like a Tony Stark-esque inventor, which makes so much sense that I'm like, I didn't even think of that, but that totally makes sense. But there's a scene at the end where they bring up his time on Aquitar and the girlfriend he had there, and he mentions going back to visit. And I like that touch. It proves to me that whoever wrote this or whoever many people collabed really did pay attention to details of the show. Did they miss some things like Aisha's character of going to Africa and everything? Yeah, but again, weeble wobbly timey wimey. Because why would her and Adam be part of Space Patrol Alpha, which I still want a full story on, by the way. But that's fine though. Because missing a couple of details is cool, but if you can pull out some like real fine tuned details, like when Billy is talking to Minigan, mentioning her fear of heights and how that saved him, you really do get like some special moments, man. Because I love that, and I love at the end again when Billy mentions the height thing, is because he's having a talk with Min and how she's apologizing for blaming Billy for Trini's death, which I thought was like the emotional core of the whole special, and really did have a lot of weight to it overall. The special ended with the moment I actually forgot happened of Kimberly playing a song, singing on guitar, and Zach joining her, and it showed the original six. Listening to them and just enjoying it. That brought tears to my eyes because then of course it had the rest in peace to Twee Trang and Jason David Frank. It was heartfelt, emotional, and I think everything a fan of the original Rangers could want. And let me be honest, was it corny at a lot of moments? Sure, but that's why I watch Power Rangers. Was it corny and all that kind of stuff? Absolutely, and I loved it. There's so much more that I could probably say, and maybe I'll cover it if I ever do a part 2. But I will say this: if you are a fan of Power Rangers, this is what you need to watch. If you loved the original, if you loved Mighty Morphin, if you just loved what happened in Mighty Morphin, you're gonna love this. I really think it. And so from me, it gets an easy 5 out of 5. Easy. So, thank you to the creators of this. Thank you to Walter E. Jones, David Yost, Steve Cardenas, Captain Sutherland, Karen Ashley, Johnny Youngbosch, and Min Trans actress. I can't remember her name right now. I was trying to look it up. Where is it? I can't find it. Doggone it! I should have did this before I started recording, but I was already pushing as far as with how late it was anyway. But yeah, just thanks to everyone for putting this together. I really do think that this is something that the fans really need. Charlie Kirsch. I'm sorry, Charlie Kirsch. She played Min Kwan, Trini's daughter. So thanks to her as well. Thanks to the entire cast for just doing all this, putting all this good work in, because it really was a love letter to the series, and I feel like it was a love letter to the fans. And it really did, remind me of why I love Power Rangers in the first place. So, like I said, Power Rangers once and always. It's an easy 5 from me. And thanks, guys, so much for watching. Before I go, I want to send a big shout out to everyone who's still sticking with me on this channel. If you miss me here, you can always catch me on the Countdown City WrestleCast. Every now and then I Countdown City Geekcast. And I do have some news. I am planning on starting another channel, which will be for a lot of other nerd related stuff. And with that, I mean, I'm gonna start updating that because I'm gonna make a brand new channel and like just care and just keep and just record stuff directly on my phone and just talk about it there. I will also be putting up a new IG page, maybe a new Twitter. I'm not sure about that. I'm still on the fence about that. But a new IG page, new YouTube page to start doing more nerd stuff, discuss more nerd stuff. And what I mean by that is I'm just gonna start talking about nerd stuff at random. I may do a schedule, or I may just be like, hey, I'm gonna talk about this and just upload it right away. I hope you guys will come over. As soon as I get that up, I will post a video here with links to that. For now, if you need to catch me on Countdown City, Geekcast, WrestleCast. I'll put the links in the description down below. Um, Shout out to one of my new homies from the Geekcast. He is Legacy of Nerd. He is awesome. He is a even more knowledgeable than Power Rangers than I am, and I mean that in the humblest way possible. He is great. He's fantastic, and he has just become a YouTube partner. He has over 1,300 subscribers. Congratulations to the Legacy of Nerd. It is an honor to know you, man, and I'm so happy for you. So proud of you. You keep working, dude. You earned those subscribers. I have seen your work ethic. I've seen how much effort you put into every single interview, every single video, and damn it, man, you are just an inspiration. So I'm so proud to know you, man. It was an honor to get to meet you. So to thank you to you. Thanks to Steady with Countdown City Geeks for bringing me in. Thanks to JC for bringing me into the WrestleCast. Thank you all so much for still watching. And I know I don't upload hardly ever anymore. Life's been a little crazy. That's why I'm going to do the second channel to start just uploading at random. I hope you guys join me there. I haven't come up with a name for the channel yet. It might be a little different than this one. And I know I already have an old YouTube that I used to upload my AMVs to. If I can get a new computer soon, I plan to hopefully do those again maybe next year, depending on what comes next. But I'm still doing fan fictions. Hopefully, I'll have a Sailor Moon one up coming this week, if not this week, next week. Then hopefully a book will be done this year. If not this year, then next year for sure. Thank you guys so much again. And I really appreciate it. And along with my usual goodbye of Minasan, sayonara, peace, I will also say, may the power protect you.